Guys, so let's start adding the activities to our program. Then we'll go ahead and link those activities together. So as you can see on my screen, I've got two main EPSs here. So I've got the exercise EPS and also the enterprise EPS. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to create a new project underneath this exercise EPS. How do I go about that? So just click on file, then click on new. So we're creating a new project, or you can press Ctrl N. Okay, and you want to select the EPS you want your project to be under. So here I'll just select this option, then I will select this exercise EPS. Okay, so that's where my project will be located. So for this project, the name of the project is Greenfield. Okay, so it's Greenfield, and I will give it a name to say GR. Okay, GRDP project DR. Let me just give it DR. Okay, and click on next. So you can set your project start date here. I won't bother about this. I've got another video explaining what you need to do here. So I click on next, select enterprise project, responsible manager. So if you want a responsible manager, you select it there. Rates, you can create a rate there, and finish. So now I've got my project. As you can see, it's underneath this EPS project structure. Alright, so what you want to do here, you just want to right click. There are different ways to open your project. We've created a project, you can just click on open to right click to right click and click on open project, or you can just click on this icon to tell you different project you've got in your EPS. Then you can select that particular project and click on open. Okay, so that's another way to do it. Or you can go to file and click on open, or you press Ctrl O. Okay, so I'll just right click and click on open. So I've got my project open here. As you can see, everything is empty. I can't see my project WBS. I can't see anything. The reason for that is because you have hide if empty on. So if you find yourself in this situation, go to group and sort, then look at this button here. If you're on WBS level, just uncheck this button for now. Okay, and click on apply and click on OK. Now we can see our project. Okay, so this is my project. So what I need to do now is to start adding activities to my project. But before I do that, I want to arrange my column. So I just want to go to right click and click on column, and when you come in here, you can click on set default column. So this is my default column, but I don't need this. I don't need resources for now. I don't need schedule percentage complete. I don't need remaining duration. All I just care about is the activity ID, activity name, original duration, start, finish, and total float. Okay, so I just click on apply and click on OK. So I've got those column identified here. Okay, so my activities, I need to start adding the activities, but before then, bear with me. Yes, so this will be my activities. Okay, so if you need a copy of this, just drop me a message and I'll send you a copy of these activities that we need to link. So we have the activity IDs, we have the activity itself, we have the predecessors, and we have the relationship that we want to actually use, and we have the duration in weeks. Okay, so so the first activities, I'll just take this out of view. So the first activity here is site clearance. Okay, so in total I have 10 activities, so I'll just add 10 here. Okay, so the first one is site clearance, the second one is foundation excavation, then the next one is pour foundation concrete, so the next one is erect structure, steel framework, then install electrical plumbing, then I want to do the roof installation, exterior brickwork, interior finishing, landscaping, and yes, so I can delete what I don't want. So the next thing I want to do here is to add a duration. So the first one is 2 weeks. Okay, the second one is 1, the next one is 2 as well, then I have 3, and this is 4, and this is 2, then 3, and I have 5, 2, and 1. Okay, so this is my list of activities, and we have the duration attached to it. So the next thing we want to do now is to start linking the activities together. All right, so what I just wanted to show you guys here is your critical path. So critical path is the longest part in your program. Okay, so if I schedule my program now, you see what the critical part is. So at the moment now, my critical part is this activity, which is the interior finishing. That's because it's got the longest duration in this project. Okay, so it's got the longest duration in this project, that's why. So you can see some other thin line in here, so that's your baseline line, but we're not talking about baseline here. So let me just remove it. Let me remove the primary baseline, let me remove the secondary baseline, and click on apply. So I've got a clean schedule, a clean program. Okay, so now to link the activities, there are different ways. So if you go back to the table, so the first activity does not have a relationship, so that's fine. And the second one, foundation excavation, has got a predecessor, and the predecessor is the first activity, A1. So by all means, if you want, you can change all this activity ID, but I'll just leave it for now. I'll just use the activity name, to understand the logic. So we have foundation is dependent on A1, which is the site clearance, and you have the finish to start relationship. Okay, finish to start relationship, that means activity A need to finish before this activity A2 starts. Okay, so I need to go in here. So the first method I will use here is to click on the first one, then click on the successor. Okay, so click on the predecessor, then click on the successor, right click and say link activities. As you can see here, you have the link created. Okay, you can schedule your program to see the effect of that. So schedule your programs to see them. So what we are saying is that the site clearance needs to be completed before we start the site excavation. Okay, so that's the first link. So the second link, let's try another one. So the second link is what? This activity, pour foundation concrete, and it's dependent on A2. So that means you have to finish the foundation, which makes sense, before you start pouring the foundation concrete. So that means let's use that method again. So that means you need to click on the predecessor, then click on the successor, right click and click on and set link. Okay, so that's what we do. So now we can see now, because the end date is the same, so that's why you have these two activities on the critical path. Okay, because this activity is 2, this one is 1, and this one is 2, so that's 5 weeks in total, and this one is 5 weeks as well. Okay, and if you look at this, the end date of this, the finish date is 3rd of May, and this one is 3rd of May as well. So you have 2 parallel critical paths on your project. Okay, so so that's another way to actually link the activities. So let's look at the next one. So the next one is what? The erect structural steel frame. Okay, so that's dependent on A3. So when we finish the foundation, we want to start with the erection of the structural steel frame. Okay, so we need the foundation. So in this case now, I want to use different method. Okay, as you can see, what we've been working on is the finish to start relationship. The first activity needs to finish before the next activity starts. Okay, so so for this one now, so I'll use another method. So in this method, you just need to move your mouse in here to the end of the predecessor, and you see this black arrow. So when you see this black arrow, that means that you're ready to link your activities together. And when you see that black arrow, left click and hold it down. As you can see, it says finish pour foundation concrete, then bring your mouse to the front of the successor. Okay, so the successor here is the erect structural steel frame. Okay, so as you can see on the yellow box here, it says finish pour foundation concrete before starting erect structural steel frame. Okay, so when you see that, then just release your left click button. As you can see, the link is in there. So if you schedule the program now, let's see what will happen. So you see what's happening now. So you say finish to start relationship, and we now have one true critical path because that's the longest part in this project. Okay, so now, so we've got that. So let's go to the next one. So this next one now is the start to start relationship. So with A4. So when you start the erect structural steel frame, that's only when you can start the install electrical and plumbing. Okay, so if you don't start A4, you can't start A5. That's what it means. So let's use the same method, but now instead of clicking on the at the end of the predecessor, so you click at the beginning. Okay, so when you see this arrow at the beginning, bring it to your beginning. So when you see the arrow at the beginning, then you bring it to the beginning of the successor as well. So as you can see there in the yellow box, it says start erect steel structure frame before you install electrical and plumbing. Okay, so I'll now release my left click. Now as you can see, it says start to start relationship. When one activity starts, the other one can start as well. So you can see they are starting at the same time. If you look at the dates in here, they are starting on the same date, the 6th of May. So that's another way to actually link your activities together. Okay, another way could be, you have some icons in here. Okay, so it's telling you that you have your resources, your resource by role, or roles in here, activity code. But if you look at here, you have the predecessor one here and you have the successor. Okay, so let's look at the next link. So the next link for the roof installation is A4. So that means you have to this is finish to start. So when you finish A4, you can start A6. Okay, so when you finish your A4 erect structural frame, you can start your roof installation. So when you click on this roof installation, then you can come in here and check the one that says predecessor. So we want to allocate a predecessor for this our roof installation. So when I click on this, so it's giving me predecessor. Another thing you need to make sure you check the heading here, assign predecessor. So we want to assign a predecessor for this activity. So what's this activity? Roof installation. What's the predecessor we want to attach to it? Erect structural frame. So just come in here and click on the erect structural frame and click on this plus button, assign. Or you can double click it, but make sure you don't click it more than once. All right, because it will give you another type of relationship that you don't want. So just click on the assign in here and close. So as you can see here, so we have a predecessor to this roof installation, which is this. And as you can see here, there's a line in here from the erect structural framework comes to the beginning of the roof installation. So that shows that we've created the link, and when you do this, automatically the relationship type will be finished to start. And for the first option that we did as well, automatically the relationship type will be finished to start. Okay, so now let me schedule my program and see what has happened here. So as you can see, what is happening here is that I've got this, then I've got the roof installation. So that's my critical part for now. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Let's use the same formula. So for this exterior brickwork, I need to start my erect structural framework as well, and in this case now it is start to start. Okay, so what I want to do now is to click on this exterior and click on this predecessor tab, okay, icon, then click on your erect structural framework and click on add. And like I said, you have a finish to start relationship. So what you want to do, you want to change the relationship tab, because the Excel says you have to start A4 before you start exterior brickwork. So start relationship. So all I want to do, I want to change this relationship to start. Okay, so that when this starts, this one can start as well. So schedule your program and check. So as you can see, you have 3 activities now in parallel, starting at the same time. So how this 6th of May, and this one 6th of May as well. So all the 3 are starting at the same time. So that's another way to link your activity. So now let's go to the next one, the interior finishing. So this interior finishing is dependent on these 3. Okay, dependent on this: install electrical, plumbing, roof installation, and electric exterior brickwork. Okay, so that's what I need to do now. I need to link those predecessors to this activity. So I'll use another method to actually link it, which is similar to the last one we just used, but in this case now just click on the interior, the activity you want to link the predecessors to, and just come to this relationship tab. Okay, so here at the detail view here, you have the predecessor, you have the successor, and you have the relationship tab. I like to use this relationship tab. If you can't find this on your screen, or just need to right click on here, click on customize, then it will be somewhere here. As you can see, it's out here, so that's why, you know, I'm able to see it there. So you just click on it and click on this arrow to move it to where you want it to be, then click on apply, or just click on OK. So now I'll just go to my predecessor relationship tab, then I will select what the predecessor of this activity should be. So that's assigning this area. You see it's showing predecessor, and this one is showing successor. So I want to be on this left hand side and click on assign. So now I've got 3 activities to assign to my interior finishing. So I've got the install electrical, roof, and exterior. Okay, so I've got A4, A5, A6, and A7. So these 3 activities. Okay, so all I just need to do is to click on the first one, click add, click on the next one, click add, click on this one, and click add. Okay, and if you remember, I said, you know, automatically the relationship will be a finish to start relationship. So interior, so as you can see now, all of the relationship is start to start. Okay, so when you start your A5, A6, and A7, that's when you start this interior finishing. Okay, so I just want to change all this to start to start, start to start, then start to start, then schedule your program. Okay, so schedule your program. So this interior finishing is starting when roof installation starts, and it's starting when electrical start, and it's starting when so let me double check again. So it's starting when you install roof installation and exterior. So install roof installation and exterior. Okay, but as you can see here, because of some relationship that we have in the program, they're not all starting at the same time. Okay, the earliest time it could start is the earliest time one of the predecessor can start. So if you look at this now, you have a driver, a critical activity. So this roof installation actually the one driving this interior finishing. So let's go to the next one. The next activity is landscaping. So landscaping is finishing when AC finishes as well. So the roof installation. So we're saying when we finish the roof installation, we want to finish the landscaping at the same time. Okay, so just click on your landscaping, click on assign, and click on your roof installation. Click on your roof installation, add it there, and just say finish to finish. Okay, and schedule your program. So that's another way to actually link your project. And the last activity here, we have the final inspection and handover. So this final inspection and handover is linked to interior finishing. So we're saying when we finish all our interior finishing, we want to inspect our project and hand it over. Okay, so I'll just click on final inspection, click on assign predecessor, and let me check A8. So that's interior finishing. So just click on interior finishing, and you can double click. See what I've just done. So I double clicked on it. Okay, and click on close and schedule your program. All right, so that's our program. But another thing I just wanted to check is if I've got any open-ended activity. Okay, so we want a closed loop in our program, so we don't want any activity dangling. So all I just want to do here is to go to list and bring up the successor and predecessor column. Okay, apply. Okay, so what I'm trying to achieve here is that I don't want any activity to be without predecessor or successor, except the first activity that don't really need to have a predecessor, and the last activity that doesn't really need to have a successor. Okay, so in this case now, you know, my first activity has not got a predecessor, so that's fine. All other activities has got a predecessor or a successor. But if you look at this activity, landscaping is hanging. Okay, so in terms of successor, I've not got a successor for it, so I need to add a successor for it. So what's a reasonable successor here? I know my last activity in this program is final inspection and handover, so I want to finish my landscaping before I hand it over. So what I can do in there is just use the first method that we use. Click on the first one, click on the last one, then link your activity together. So I've got a logically linked program. Okay, so as you can see, all these activities has got something that is driving or something that's driving it. So if you click on this as well, you know, I've just clicked on this icon, the activity network, you see all the parts in the program, and you can see the critical part. The critical part is the ones that are showing red here. Okay, So there you have it. So if you want to go back to your normal view again, just click on this icon that says Gantt view. So we're back to Gantt view. Another thing I just wanted to mention to you guys is another way to actually link your activities together. So let's say I've got another WBS in here. Okay, let me call it option 2. Let's go back in here. So option 2 here. So let's say I have this set of activities in no particular order. Okay, so let's say this is activity A, and let's say B is somewhere here, and let's say D is here, and let's say C is here, let's say F, let's say this is F, and this is E, and this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, let's say this is G. Okay, so this is how our activities has been, aligned in our program. But let's say we want to link these activities to be in a sequential order. So one way is to click on the first one, then click on the second one, right click and link. Then you go back, do it again for B and C, do it again for C and D, D and E and F till you get to G. So that's a long-winded way. You don't want to go through all that stress to link your activities together. Yes, another way is to actually use the successor to link it. So click on the first activity and say, okay, my successor is B. Click on B and say my successor is C. But that's a long way as well. So let's say the fastest way I think that you can link this activity, if they are together, this will work, is to click on the first one. Yeah, start with the first activity. Okay, then click on the next. Hold your control button. Yeah, click on the next one. In this case, it's B. Right? Click. C. Hold your control button. Click on C, and click on D. Click on E. Click on F, and click on G. The system will remember the sequence in which you've clicked those activities. So now, when you've clicked on those activities, just right click and say link. Okay, so now as you can see, links has been created here. So if I schedule my program now, I'll click on schedule. You can see that you have the link between A to B to C to D to E to F and to G. All right, if I want to see it properly, what I could do, I could use the start, I could sort it by the start date, as you can see now, and I have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So there you have it, guys. So those are the options you can use to actually link your activities together. If you have any question, please drop in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer you as soon as possible. All right, see you on the next one. Cheers.